Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a really unsettling narrative. It comes from an excerpt actually from a horror podcast called The Bridge Between Midnight, A Hunter's Haunt.
Right.
And what we have here, it isn't just, a spooky story. It's a narrated monologue. And it was originally designed with this incredibly immersive sound design.
Which gives us a great way to look at it, doesn't it? How these stories, especially ones focused on a really tight time frame of terror, can just grab you.
Exactly. The details that makes them stick. So the big question for our deep dive today is, well, what happens when curiosity, maybe youthful bravado, runs smack into local legends and something truly inexplicable? Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, this is a fantastic chance to really dissect how this kind of storytelling works, especially how it relies on these very specific rules, this really narrow window of dread.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative builds suspense by saying, okay, this is when the horror happens, this is where it happens. And those specifics, they really tap into primal fears. It's not just telling you something scary, it makes you feel it. Even just reading the outline, you get a sense of that.
You really do. It's designed to be experienced.
Exactly. And we're going to explore how the pieces work together, especially within those defined witching hours.
So let's start at the place itself, Naali Pul. It sounds, pretty ordinary, right? Just a 400-meter bridge outside Mirang City.
Next to small villages, crosses a lazy river. Totally unassuming.
But that ordinary look, that's kind of what makes its reputation so potent. It's this name that's whispered, like a warning.
And the core legend is incredibly specific. That's key here, I think. Between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m., precisely then, no local goes near it.
No way.
Because, if you try to cross, your engine doesn't just stall, it dies. Completely, permanently unresponsive.
Wow, not just a breakdown, like an absolute stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An unyielding stop. And that kind of, localized effect, defying physics, it immediately sets up the supernatural rules of this place.
That's a really good point. And the locals, they don't question it. They just avoid it. The description is great, like crossing a graveyard with no names on the tombstones. It's just this ingrained thing.
A communal response, yeah.
But you know how it is. For every legend, there's someone who thinks, nah, not me.
Oh, always. And that's where this story really kicks off, where modern skepticism, maybe youthful arrogance, meets this ancient fear head on.
Enter the boys from the city, 14 students from Mirang University.
Right, a mix of bikers, car guys, self-proclaimed adrenaline junkies.
Their motivation, pretty classic really. Saw a viral reel, made a bet.
Yep, live stream it, show everyone this ghost story is crap. That was the plan. They were deliberately aiming for that 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. window.
So picture this, it's precisely 12:10 a.m. They roll up to Naali Pul, all confident, and then, bam.
Every single engine, cars, bikes, dead, simultaneously.
The source says, silence. Just imagine that, the sudden quiet after all the noise and bravado.
Oh yeah, the shift must have been instant. From cocky to scared.
They're looking at each other, probably trying these nervous grins. Someone even says, coincidence, engine's overheated.
Trying to rationalize it, right. But they try starting them, again and again. Nothing.
Little silence.
That simultaneous failure is just brilliant horror writing. It strips them of control instantly, makes them vulnerable.
It really does, takes away their safety net.
And then there's that really eerie part, the spell breaking. They had to push their bikes and cars, grumbling, probably getting more freaked out across the whole 400 meters.
Right, and as soon as they got off the bridge.
Like a spell breaking, the source says. Engines roar back to life. Everything works.
Which just raises more questions, doesn't it? What kind of force does that? So precise, so localized.
Narratively, it defines the boundary. The bridge itself becomes this contained zone of danger. It's not just a place, it's a threat.
You'd think that experience would scare them off for good. But, the fear faded, apparently.
But the curiosity didn't. Not with this group.
They actually talked to the villagers afterwards, trying to get answers.
And what do they get? Shrugs. That's what our fathers told us. That kind of thing.
Yeah, the silence from the locals was, as the source puts it, louder than any tale. Just this refusal to even explain it. It just is.
It really shows the weight of lived experience, collective memory, over just youthful skepticism, doesn't it? The villagers didn't need proof. The avoidance was enough.
Which, of course, leads the students to make maybe not the best decision.
To go back. But this time, they planned it differently. On foot. No vehicles.
Intentionally stepping back into that 12 to 2 a.m. window.
Their goal, stay on the bridge, feel what really happens. I mean, it's such a classic horror setup. Daring the universe, basically.
Confronting the unknown head on. So they go back. 12:10 a.m. again.
And the atmosphere's thick. Full moon.
Yeah.
The river flowing slower than usual almost. Watching.
Ooh, creepy detail.
Yeah. And the air felt heavy. Like something breathing just under the wind.
Wow. So they're standing there. 10 minutes pass. Silence. And 15 minutes. Just waiting.
That 15 minutes of quiet, that's where the tension really builds, isn't it? The anticipation. You know something's coming.
Absolutely. And then it starts. Fast, heavy footsteps, rushing towards them.
But no one's there. Just the sound.
That's terrifying.
And immediately after, low, hoarse whispers. Right there with them. Kill him! Kill them all!
Okay, that's it. Bravado gone. Pure panic.
Immediate. Absolute. Someone screams, people start running blindly. Panic just spreads like fire.
And their phones, which you'd think they'd use for light or recording.
Flickering. Dying. One after another. It's genius, really. Stripped of mobility now, stripped of their modern tools, too. Pure primal terror.
They're just sprinting, desperate to get off the bridge.
And that leads to the tragic part, the turning point.
In the chaos, one of the boys, Karan, he trips, hits the railing, gets left behind.
He calls out. Once. Twice. Then the source says, and then nothing.
Oh, God. And the others. They didn't stop.
Didn't look back. Just kept running until they were safe, off the bridge, where the air felt normal again.
Only then do they realize Karan's not with them. He's missing.
The story shifts there, doesn't it? It's not just about the horror they faced, but the weight of that survival. The choices made in terror.
They had to wait, didn't they? Until after 2 a.m.
An agonizing wait. Until 2:20 a.m., just after that window closed. Then they finally went back onto the bridge, trembling, probably barely able to speak.
And they found nothing.
No blood, no shoe, no scream. Just the bridge, the moonlight, the river.
But Karan wasn't just gone. Days later.
They found his body, floating near the riverbank under the eastern side of the bridge.
And the description, face frozen in horror, lungs full of water.
But the most chilling detail, a massive red footprint imprinted on his chest, described as not human, not animal, just wrong. That wrongness, that ambiguity, it's what makes it so disturbing. You see the result, but not the cause, not fully.
Yeah, that's incredibly effective. But it doesn't quite end with the mystery. An old man steps forward.
Right, from the village. Cloudy eyes and trembling hands. And he said something simple, but profound.
Oh, isn't meant to be disturbed. That's his time.
And then he gives the backstory, the why behind the 12 to 2 hauntings, which is almost as terrifying as the event itself.
He talks about a hunter from long ago, before the bridge.
Yeah, lived in the jungle near the river. Made a deal, apparently, with something dark, something buried in the river.
What kind of deal?
Strength, victory, in exchange for a soul every full moon.
Oh, wow.
When the hunter died, they cremated him by the riverside, but his spirit, it never left.
So it walks the bridge between 12 and 2.
Exactly. Looking for trespassers, looking for that soul he still owes.
And the old man says he doesn't care about age, name, or reason. He just takes.
It provides this terrifying logic, doesn't it? It explains the time, the single victim, makes the whole legend horribly cohesive.
So, thinking about this whole story, what does it really leave us with? It takes this local legend, gives it these really specific, scary rules, this origin.
It shows the brutal cost of ignoring those warnings, right? Especially warnings tied to a specific time and place. It turns a vague fear into something tangible, vengeful, operating on its own schedule.
Yeah.
And if you think bigger picture, it really speaks to how these legends function. Maybe keeping a community safe, or at least contained, not through force, but just through sheer terror of the consequences.
They're warnings, aren't they? Passed down, trying to explain something dangerous.
Exactly. It's that timeless clash.
Yeah.
Modern skepticism versus these deep, ancient fears. Our need to understand the unknown and the warnings our ancestors left us.
Absolutely. Which leaves a final thought for you, the listener. If you ever find yourself driving near Mirang's outskirts late at night, say between 12 and 2 a.m., and your engine suddenly just dies. The original story offers some stark advice. Don't check your phone, don't wait for help.
And whatever you do, don't look back.
Because if you hear footsteps behind you, they're not meant to be heard.
Chill.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the bridge between midnight. Makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe some legends and the times they keep are best left alone.